So basically how this works is I'm going to ask a question, and then every coach here who is willing to give an answer will raise the little emoji hand here on Zoom, and I'm going to pick 3 or 4 of the coaches to answer the question. And the reason we do it this way is because we are all different. Okay. There is no coach that you see here that is in exactly the same season of life, has the exact same personality, even lives in the same place. We are all different. So we feel like it's really powerful for you to hear from several people answering the same question who have different perspectives, different life seasons, different ages, all of that stuff. So let's get started. The first question, Kelsey, people do keep telling me that. Can you hear me okay? Okay. So the first question I want to ask you is, in your own words, what would you describe your job as a coach? How would you describe it? Slash, what is a coach? If that's the way you want to answer it. Tiffany, go ahead.
So I look at coaching as like my absolute number one job, like number one priority, number thing on the list is just taking care of myself and like actually taking care of myself. So not doing some type of fad or some type of get skinny quick, blah, 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 but like legitimately like self-reflecting, doing real mental personal development, doing the workouts, and just being proof that like we have something very valuable to offer that can change you from the inside out. So really diving into the workouts, diving into the nutrition programs, and taking care of you. And then beyond that, it is helping other people take care of themselves. So that does include things like reaching out to other people, and saying like, I'm doing this. Is this something you might be interested in? Or being able to just help other people on that journey of self-betterment.
Erin, go for it.
Hello. Okay, so mine is very similar to Tiffany's, but also for me, I look at it as going on a journey with like other people, like with other friends, with, like I think about it, if I found, for instance, if I found like this thing at Target, I love Target, and I was like, oh my gosh, there's this awesome deal at Target, like I would want to share that with everyone else. And I look at it like that, like I've gotten so much from this experience and from like just personally being a coach for almost 3 years now. I've grown so much, and I look at that and I think like I want other people to experience that. And so I view it as like I'm going on a journey with other people. We're holding each other accountable. We're supporting each other. We're encouraging each other. And then for me as a coach, like one of my favorite things is like getting to hold other people accountable, but encouraging them and like sending them messages and being like, hey, I know I haven't seen you in a while, like in our groups, or haven't seen you in whatever. And I just want to check in with you. And for me, like I'm that person that I would love somebody to reach out to me and be like, hey, I haven't seen you in a bit. Are you doing okay? And so I try to do that for my people as well. And I don't know, I just think it's a lot of fun to have that community, especially for me. I'm a new mom, postpartum 9 months, and it is just really fun being able to do this with other mamas and like being able to talk about like more than just fitness. Like we talk about life in our groups, and we share the hard things and the really good things, and it's just really cool.
So a couple things I hope you caught is, number one, we're not experts. Okay. I think that a lot of people have hesitations whenever they think about coaching. Like, you guys see us, but you're like, could I actually do that? I'm not an expert. Like, I don't have my life together in the health and fitness realm. And most of us here were the same way. And coaching was the thing that taught us how to be healthy. And you might be like, how in the world? Like, how can you help people? How can you coach people? And that's because we're not the experts. Like, Beachbody provides the workouts, Beachbody provides the nutrition programs, Beachbody provides all of the resources and the knowledge, and it's our job to follow those programs and get results and feel our best so we can help other people do the same through what Beachbody offers, which is super cool and allows anybody to do this, not just people who are experts in health and fitness. So Tiffany and Erin both mentioned helping other people. And I know that can be really scary if you are somebody who, like I just mentioned, isn't an expert. And I want you to know that was me. I was not an expert. It was a total learning experience for me, but that doesn't mean you can't help people along the way. So we run what's called challenge groups. So my next question is, what is a challenge group and how do you run your challenge groups? Morgan, go for it.
Okay, so challenge groups are a place where we check in with our workouts, check in with our nutrition. It is a place, like, as a coach, we get to provide whatever we want, whether that is just making it fun, whether that is focusing more on nutrition, kind of whatever you want to work on and what you want to focus on, you make your challenge group about. And so right now, this summer, I'm running my group with Erin and we're making all about fun. So we have a fun bingo board we're doing, and it's whatever you want it to be. So we run ours on the app that Beachbody provides for us. They make it super simple to set up, and then everything links to their account. So when they work out, they can just hit share and their workout is logged into the group. And then we go in there and we encourage them and just kind of hold them accountable. We have like a sheet that we share saying like how many workouts people got in. And the beautiful thing is, like, it's evolved over time. So at one point I ran them on Facebook. At one point I was just doing a messenger pod. So basically a challenge group is a place where you are holding those people who sign up with you accountable. And that's where you kind of share your journey together and you kind of build that community. So just know, like, there's not one way to run a challenge group, but the whole point is to provide that encouragement, to provide the motivation, like more of just like a, hey, you got this kind of thing to people, but it's ultimately up to them to show up. So that's kind of my take on a challenge group.
Go ahead, Erin. You're muted.
Thanks. Sorry, there's too many buttons. I forget. But like Morgan said, there's literally so many different ways that you can do this. And I know in the past, like, some people have done text messages, some people have done messenger, like pods where they'll put everyone that's doing the same workout together. You can revolve it around like a specific program. So like Morgan and I are getting ready to do Fire and Flow. So this next one is going to be primarily Fire and Flow, but we're going to do bingo board stuff and like some extra fun things. And then in July, we're going to do Let's Get Up. So it's like, it's centered around that program, but then you can also do it centered around something like that you need. Like, we talk a lot about like, what is it that you need in your life? And so there's times where I felt like as a Christian that like my walk with Christ is not like as strong as I want it to be, or like where I want to be. And so I will say, you know what, I'm going to do a book study this month, or I'm going to do like a challenge to read the Bible, you know, every single day for 30 days or whatever, you know, and we'll check in like that too, because like, this is not just about our physical body. And I think so often we think like, oh, health and fitness, we just loop it into like what we look like, but it really has so much to do with like everything about us and our mindset and our heart and our spirit and all of that. And so I think when you do that and you like, let it be your journey along the way too, like, don't be like, oh, I have to do X, Y, and Z because this other coach is doing it. Like, do what you need and be authentic in that journey, and people will join you. People will want to do that with you. And that's what's so exciting. And then you get to like enjoy that fire while you're in the group too, because then you feel like you're also kind of like a challenger again too, which is really fun.
Yes, I was going to add, for me, my groups that I'm running, and because I know I'm encouraging other people, it keeps me going. Like, if I go camping once a year, no service. That is the hardest week of the year for me to get in my workouts, because I know nobody's going to know if I don't do it. So when you declare like, I'm going to do this, I'm running this group and we're going to finish this program together, you finish it because you've said you're going to, and you've said it out loud, and you've said it to so many people. Coaching is just as much for us in our own health, if not more, than it is for other people. Annie, go ahead.
I just wanted to add on that challenge groups are really where the job starts. That is really where you're going to meet your challengers, where they are, and not only with the encouraging, but it's really my favorite part of the job, because that's where I really get to know the people in my group and their specific challenges. and celebrate wins with them. It's not just about checking in with your workout. For some people, that's the biggest takeaway from the challenge groups, but it's also about the community and getting to know people, learning to be open with your own struggles and, celebrate your own wins. And, like they said, you can build your challenge group on anything. A few months ago, I did a challenge group about organization, just like organizing your life, not necessarily, like your pantry, but organizing your life in finding the things that are important and making time for those things. And it just was little tips and tricks and, struggles I have, and we just kind of shared with that. So it's really, to me, the fun in this job, because you can make it anything you want.
Caitlin?
Yeah, I just wanted to add on this. I think that a lot of times people can overthink the accountability group and the challenge group, and hear all of these other amazing ideas and ways that people run it. And I just want to bring my perspective, because I feel like I say I'm not a very creative person. I'm learning that I do have some creativity, but a lot of these women here have been teachers, and I feel like that's part of it. They're used to creating, and I am not that. And I have done challenge groups where there is a specific challenge, or there is, different things like they were talking about, but really, it can be as simple as, it's just the place that you encourage them. Like, it's just the place that you go and say, hey, good job. Like, you're crushing it. Or, I see you putting in the work. Like, I see you. Or simple things like sending them a handwritten note with a little sticker and saying, I'm so glad to be working with you. Like, things like that are so small and so easy to do. It doesn't take creativity and skill to do those things.
I love that, Caitlin. Okay, what does your day as a coach look like, and when are you fitting in your work? I know right now, maybe if you're a teacher and you're on summer break, talk about how you do it when you're a teacher. Because most people who start coaching are doing something else too, or they're in college, or they're a stay-at-home mom. And it's not just like, oh, I have all the time in the world to start this new job and I can work it from 9 to 5. Nobody's like that. So how do you fit coaching into your day, and what do you do for your job, like for coaching? Morgan.
Okay, I am a stay-at-home mom, but I was from the corporate world. I just recently this year decided to stay home with my 8-month-old daughter, and nap time, work time is my jam. And I understand that, everyone's, kid naps different, or some days are longer than others. Like, I had the other day, I was really in the zone. I was like, I'm gonna get so much work done. I'm so excited. And she napped for like 20 minutes. And I was like, okay, that's not going to happen. So I did as much as I could in that 20 minutes. It really helps to set timers when you're doing things, because any moms out there, like, there's a million things that you have to do, or you feel like you need to do. And so to prioritize, like, okay, I need to do this. And so what this is for me is, I start my day off by waking up earlier. I wake up earlier than my daughter does, so I can read my Bible and kind of start my day that way. And then I work out. And then if I have time depending on how early I wake up, I'll set a timer for 10 minutes, and I will try to make connections for 10 minutes. And then usually she wakes up and we start our day. Once she goes down for her nap, I try to hop on this link. I try to hop on the gym, the virtual gym for accountability. And I try to send out some invites, I'll create a post. Every day kind of looks a little bit different, but what you really need to do for sure is, like, take care of yourself with your workouts. And then I share what I did in my workout. Usually when I share my post, my own, like, check into my group, I usually try to add something that came across my mind when I was working out, or something motivational, just because my mind gets going at that time. So, like, I'll check into my group, I'll check in with anyone at that time, and then go throughout my day. Really, during nap time is when I get the priority of my work done, which is like sending those invites, or making a post, or connecting with people. And every day looks a little bit different, but basically those are vitals, which I'm sure you've kind of gotten the gist of what they are. But, like, taking care of yourself inviting people, connecting with people, and professional personal development. Those things throughout your day in nap time is what I do. And then when I was in the corporate world, I would wake up early. I would do my workout kind of similar to what I do now, share it in my group. And then sometimes over lunch, I'd get something done, which obviously that doesn't always happen, but really I would get excited to come home and do stuff like after work because it was so different. Like it was, this job brings me joy. And so I'd be like, oh, I can't wait to get home and tell people about this amazing program. And so when you find out what all this program can do for you, you want to share it with others. And so I think that's why we talk about taking care of yourself. Like that's such an important piece because you start to see your own results and you want other people to know about it. It's just like any other program out there, anything you decide to do, if you're getting results, you're probably going to be excited. So if you're going in with your nutrition, if you're going in with your workouts, whatever that looks like for you, you're probably going to be excited and it's going to naturally come out and you're going to want to tell people about it. So that's kind of a little bit about what it looked like in both scenarios for me.
Kelsey, your hand was raised. Do you still want to share?
I can. Morgan pretty much said everything, so that like is fine too. I was just gonna say, like, it's looked very different for me. I've done it for 2 years now, and for the first like 6 months, I was a teacher, and I just worked it. I woke up earlier, and worked it around my schedule, and then this past year. I had lost my parents. So that looked very different. I had to like take some time to just like take care of myself. And then the past year, like I've worked very little compared to what I was working before. So I do like to like get up in the mornings and get it done. Now I'm nannying. So 3 days a week, I get up at like 4:30 and get my workout in. It's just easier for me because I feel like so much more motivated for my day. And then if I can just get a little bit done in the morning, like mostly I take care of me and then I share how I take care of me in the mornings and check into my accountability group, encourage in my accountability group, and then respond to messages in the morning. And that takes me like 30 minutes in the morning. So if I can get that done in the morning, then in the afternoon, whenever it's nap time for the kids I nanny, I'm able to like not be as stressed about all the stuff I have to get done. And so I do like an hour or so in the afternoons. But I am going back to teaching in the fall. So my schedule again and change. But I think that's the thing, like with coaching, like it is so flexible and you can literally work it around whatever schedule you have. And I think sometimes like for me, I can get so stressed about like my schedule changing and then like trying to fit this in. And every time your schedule changes, it's like, okay, it takes some time to get back into a routine. But I've learned like, that's okay. And to just like, be okay with that and like, give yourself grace and allow yourself to go through life and changes. So yes.
So what I hope you see from this question is the beauty of coaching and the beauty of doing workouts like we do them is you can do it whenever you want. Like everybody here has a different schedule and a different life. And we all figure out how to fit it in. When I first started doing this, I was teaching and I was the night person. I worked out after school every day. Not a lot of people do that, but I would be working out sometimes after volleyball games because I was a coach. And sometimes that was 9 p.m. and that worked for me. And then sometimes I would also wake up at 5 a.m. and get work and do my workout. It can fit around anything, any profession, any life phase. And that's one of my favorite things about it. Okay, I know that a lot of people who aren't coaches watch us and think, I don't want to be on social media that much. I don't even like social media. Social media is negative. I don't know how to do it. So what would you say to somebody who has hesitations about doing a job that puts them on social media daily? Tiffany.
So you get to pick and choose, just like with everything else in this job, like you get to work it how you want to work it. Like we provide like so many resources. Corporate provides so many resources. Your personal coach will provide you with so many resources. But at the end of the day, like you get to run this and you get to do this how you want to do it. You don't have to share every little aspect of your life unless you want to. You don't have to share from sun up to sundown about your life unless you want to. And I think that that's kind of like the really cool thing about it is that, you know, you are in control of the way you're telling your story about your daily life, your workouts, whatever. I know in the very beginning, it took me at least over a month to even feel comfortable to post a video of me working out. So it's not like you have to share X, Y, and Z on social media every single day. And then on the flip side of that, maybe you're just like not feeling super confident sharing on social media, and that gets way better as it goes on. Looking back at the beginning of my like fitness Instagram, I'm like, ew, cringe. Like I look uncomfortable, but I've stuck it out for 4 years and you get more comfortable, you get more used to it. And a couple of the pieces of advice about sharing on your story is like, just talk to your story like you're talking to your best friend. Talk about, you know, the workout you're doing or whatever, the same way you would recommend your local Mexican restaurant. Like, just keep it cool and casual, and it gets better as you go on.
I'm going to speak for Shelby. She's a coach on our team who was very hesitant about social media, and I know her answer. So I'm going to tell you, because I actually love social media and I had zero hesitations. I was excited. But Shelby is a very successful coach on our team, and this was probably her biggest hesitation. She's grown a lot and she actually enjoys social media now, but she was very nervous because she just wasn't on it very much. And I love how she puts it. She always says that if you actually don't like social media, it's a benefit because it allows you to focus in when you're on it and treat it like a job and post what you need to post and then get off and not get distracted. I love social media and I can find myself spending hours on it. So I agree. In some ways, it is a benefit because you can be super focused. You can be clear about your purpose on Instagram or social or on Facebook or whatever. The other thing I would say is most of you are on social media already. So it's not like it's going to be added time. It's going to be restructuring your time to where you're not just scrolling, you're not just consuming, you're the one putting things out there. So if you look at your phone screen time and see how much you're spending on your phone on average daily, it's probably not going to change. You're just going to be spending your time differently on your phone. That's going to allow you to make an impact. And I don't know about you, that's all I really want to do with social media. Like it can be so negative. And once I started coaching, my social media and my mind around social media changed for the better. And I've seen that with most people. There are struggles, don't get me wrong, but that's what I've seen most. Okay, I want to get into how we make money as coaches, and I'm going to answer it myself. And then if anybody wants to like piggyback off of what I say, I would love that because I know you're here because you want to make money. If you're anything like me, I was not coming into coach willing to lose money. That was my biggest fear, was that I would invest and that this job wouldn't make me money. It was my husband's biggest fear. So I figured out how I was going to make money before I started. And normally at the beginning of your business, the way you're going to make money most is by commission. We have several different ways to make money, but I really want to focus on commission today because it's what you're going to notice first on your paycheck. And we've been talking about following the programs. We've been talking about talking to other people about the programs and helping them in challenge groups. And a simple way to think about it is every time somebody signs up with you to do the workout, be in your groups, and they get the workouts, they get the nutrition plans, you're going to make $50. $50 for every person. And the thing I focused on when I very first started, because my mentor said it to me, is if you get 3 people to commit to working out with you each month, you are going to be making money. And then beyond that, when people continue to work out with you and they fall in love with our products, like our pre-workout, it's amazing. Our shakes are amazing. Our granola bars are amazing. We have creatine, we have greens, we even have clothing, like we have all kinds of stuff. And when your customers stick with you and they fall in love with those products, they're going to keep getting them and you make commission off of all the products you sell. Okay. The second biggest way we make money, and I just want to touch on it, it's bonuses. It's team cycle bonuses. So if you get to the point where you love coaching and you start talking about coaching a lot, and you have friends or family or people you meet who are like, I want to do that too, you start building a team of people who are coaching, much like you see here. And when your team sees success, your team is producing, your team is signing people up, Beachbody rewards you with bonuses. So as long as you are leading people well, you are getting you're getting those bonuses for doing that. But it can be a little complicated to explain all the ins and outs of that, and commission is the thing you're going to focus on first. Does anybody want to add anything else to making money? Okay. My last question is this. For people who are sitting here and they're like, okay, what in the world is this going to look like? Like, I do want to do this, but what's it going to look like? How would you say, like, what's their first couple weeks going to look like as a coach? And how are they going to learn the ropes of what we do as coaches and like hit the ground running? Morgan.
I would say it's going to look a lot like figuring out a program, what program you want to start with, and starting with that. Like, learn, become the best challenger you can be, and just lead by example in that way, and share your journey and figure out how you want to share your journey. Like we've kind of talked about with social, everyone's different. So I would start with that. We have so many trainings, so many resources for people. And I think people can get overwhelmed by how much information there is because there's a lot, but really the best thing you can do is take messy action. And that is doing what we've already talked about, which is starting with your own journey and sharing about it. And then asking your coach all the questions, asking your coach all the questions. I would make a list of people who you think would enjoy these programs, and then reach out to them and ask if they'd want to do it with you, just like you're inviting a friend to the gym. So I wouldn't overcomplicate it. I would make it super simple. And then I would just communicate with your coach. I'm so sorry. Communicate with your coach about, like, how does this invite sound? Does this sound good? I'm going to post this on social media. Like, ask those things to your coaches. I know sometimes when we say, ask your coach all the questions, people are like, but what do I ask? Anything and everything. We want to be bothered because we want to help you, because we want to help you see success. So literally anything as simple even as like, what does an invite look like? Anything. Ask your coach. We'll help you figure it out. And then any other bigger questions you have, we have a team page. The other big thing is coming to team calls. So Saturdays we have team calls. That's where you can learn, grow, feel part of the community, and you're going to be more motivated to show up when you see all these other people showing up with you. You're going to be like, oh, this is possible. I can do this. So those are kind of my biggest tips that I would focus on.
Caitlin?
Okay, wow, Morgan really covered it all. But just something that I would add to that is remember that you don't have to start being, like Paige said before, we're not the expert. Like, you don't have to be the expert. You don't have to show up on social media one day and all of a sudden you are a fitness professional and you're trying to tell people what to do. Like, I feel like that can be this thing that you think you need to be. You can just show up and say, I literally have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm going to start following this program. Watch me do it, or do it with me if you want. And then of course, all the other things that Morgan said, but I think that would be like, that's just something that I've been thinking about recently is you don't have to be the professional. Like, take that pressure off of yourself and be really bad at it and be a starter and be a beginner and show people that it's okay to start there. And that's way more fun to watch anyway.
I'm obsessed with that answer. I think that's so true. Tiffany, go ahead.
Literally impossible to follow because both of them covered like everything, especially the like being the beginner, and like that's okay, and being honest about that. Like, you don't necessarily, like, you might not be joining an expert. Like whoever you joined with, you're probably not joining with them because you're like, oh my gosh, they're perfect, they're amazing, they do everything, amazing. But whenever you do join as a coach, something that I really did a lot in the beginning was follow other coaches that I saw as successful, like followed other coaches and like paid attention to like what they're doing and how they're doing it. Because a lot of times you're like, in the beginning, I don't really know what I'm doing, and you should be honest about that. But then kind of like learn by the examples that other coaches are setting forth for you. And then that might help you make it your own and like show you what you need to be even asking about.
I love all of those answers. We just want you guys to know that you don't have to be an expert. I hope you've gotten that if you've been here for this long. And we also want you to contact us if you have any questions, okay? You might be listening to the recording of this, you might be here today. And what we also want you to do is not sit on it if you feel excited about it right now. You will talk yourself out of it if you wait even like a full day or two to reach out to the person that you know who's a coach, okay? If you are interested, it feels scary and it's okay. It is different. You'll be starting a new job. You'll be growing. You'll be changing. You'll be committing to something brand new. And it could just be the thing that changes your life forever. And something that Tiffany says all the time, which I love, is it doesn't have to make you $1 million to change your life. Okay. It's probably not going to make you $1 million if I'm being completely honest, unless you kill it and you're committed to being here for like a really long time. Okay. And that's okay too. It could do that. I'm not going to say it can't do that. It can do anything. But the life-changing part of it could be the community for you. The life-changing part of it could be that you have a health routine that you love and you stick to for 5 years for the first time ever. Or it could be like me, that you're doing a job that you like right now, but you start coaching and you realize you're so passionate about it and your business grows and you get to do it full time one day. Like, life-changing looks different for everybody. And we know every single one of us that are here that are coaches have experienced life change through this job. We've been here a while and we love it and we want to pass that on to you. So if you have questions, please let us know. Thank you for listening. And we look forward to hopefully working with you in the future.